Okay, this video is going to cover the installation of SQL Server 2014 using the Express version on a laptop. If my voice fades in and out, it may be because I turn away from the laptop I'm using to record this on. Hope I won't do that too much. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that there are no SQL Server components still on this computer from a previous install. So I'm going to go to the control panel. I'm going to go to Programs, let me find it here, Programs and Features. Okay, I'm going to look down the list and make sure there's nothing that says SQL Server in there. And I've just gone through and uninstalled all of it. If you do have any components in there, to get rid of them, you right-click on it and click Uninstall. After you get through with the uninstall process, you need to restart the computer before you install SQL Server. Okay, now that we've gone through that bit of housekeeping, I'm going to go to my DVD-ROM drive, and in there I have the DVD that has the SQL Server program on it with tools. Okay, I'm going to start running the program by double-clicking on it. It'll take it a few minutes here to spin up. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video part of this until the software actually starts installing. Okay, we've hit the point now where we're going to start the install. What you did not see is I had a screen that popped up that asked if I wanted to allow this software to change my computer before I could start the video recording back up. I went ahead and answered yes on that. Now this is asking for a directory to put the extracted files in, and I'm going to go ahead and accept the default. So now all of these files are being expanded. They were zipped up, and this is a process of them being unzipped. Okay, now we're at the point where we're going to start this installation. Okay, what you're going to select is New SQL Server Standalone Installation or Add Features to an Existing Installation. So I'm going to click there. Okay, you're not going to have any choice here except for to accept the license terms. And I'm not going to turn on the Customer Experience Improvement Program. So I'm going to click Next. And we're going to start the installation process. Okay, it says there's no updates found for the product, so I'm going to click Next again. Okay, so now we're going to select things that we want to install, and I'm going to go ahead and select all. Okay, and I'm going to click Next. Okay, if you'll notice here, this is giving you the name of the database instance that's going to be installed. We're going to accept the default, which will be SQL Express. Click Next. Okay, it says Microsoft recommends that you use a separate account for each SQL Server service. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to leave this at the default right now without a password on there. This is just for an educational environment. So I'm going to click Next. Okay, this is asking how we're going to use our authentication and security for this. So what we're going to use is the Windows authentication mode. That means that it's going to access your password from Windows to certify that you have access to this. So if you'll notice, it picked up me as the administrator because it's the account that I'm installing this from. That's fine. That's what I'm going to accept. And I'm going to click Next. Okay, now we're getting to something called reporting services. We're not going to use it in here, but go ahead and take the default and install and configure it. this point, it's doing a lot of cleanup from the install. So it's going to take a few more minutes here until everything gets done. Okay, it's taken a while, but we're just about done here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause recording here until this thing completes because it's going to take a little while. Okay, all the behind the scenes stuff has completed, and it says that our installation is complete. So I'm going to go ahead and click close. And I'm going to close this window. And now I'm going to look under my All Programs menu, and I will have a folder for SQL Server 2014. That folder for SQL Server 2008 is also part of the install, but you're not really going to need to get in there. Okay, if you don't have an icon on your desktop already for SQL Server 2014 Management Studio, you can create one from this. I have one that's on my desktop, so I'm going to go ahead and open it. And this is first run. Okay, it's already picked up that the server name is T410S/SQL Express on this machine. If you don't see that there, you can search for Browse for More, and then click under Database Engine, and there it is, the same one. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click Connect. Now I see the objects that are installed here. So we've got databases. The only things we've got in here right now are the standard databases that are part of the installation. We're going to need to install a database on here. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to go to my browser. I'm going to go to the eCourse. And whenever it lets me get there, I'm going to log in. Blackboard doesn't seem to be responding real rapidly right now. Well, let's just try refresh old business and see if that helps a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to go to this course. I'm going to go to Student Data Files. Okay, this stuff is stored on my Google Drive. All right, what you need out of here is an SQL file. So I'm going to click on Chapter 2 Zip. Let me back up for just a second here. Okay, I'm recording again. It probably would have helped if I had logged into the right Blackboard shell. So now that I'm going into the right one, I'm going to click on Student Data Files. The only student data file that's up here that's really important to you in this course is this one. Okay, you can download everything in here and it comes as a zipped up file. So I'm going to go ahead and download the file. I'm going to save it to my machine. It'll be in my downloads folder. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to go to my downloads folder. I'm going to extract everything in here. Okay, then I'm going to go for this file right here. Now, if you just double click on this file and run it, it will work, but I want to show you what we're really doing here. So I'm going to open it with Notepad++, and I'm going to select everything in this file. Okay, I'm going to go back to my SQL Server Management Tools, and I'm going to click on New Query. Okay, this opens a query window in here. I'm going to right-click in here and paste. Okay, then I'm going to click Execute. Okay, if you'll notice, I get a failure here. It tells me that it can't create it because it already exists. The reason why is when I deleted all my previous SQL Server stuff in here, it didn't delete the database. When you run this, you shouldn't get this error. It should create the database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the database, and then I'm going to run this again, so you'll see how it should run. Okay, I've deleted the database. I'm going to go ahead and try to run this again, and we'll see what we get this time. Okay, so now it's created the database, and I should be able to refresh databases, and then there it is, TSQL 2012. So this is the database that we're going to be working in whenever we're running queries throughout the rest of the course. There are a couple of other databases that when we get to the second book we will also install. A little bit different process. So there's a couple of things that I want to make sure you do first here before we go anywhere else. And one is we're going to set this up where when we do a query we get back all the results in a table and not just the top 100 or so. And I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to expand this database, and I'm going to expand tables so that we can see what tables are in here. Now if I right click on this, I've got edit all rows and select all rows. Okay, with yours it's probably going to say edit top 1000 or edit top 25, something of that nature. To modify that so we show all results, we go Tools, Options, SQL Server Object Explorer, and then Commands, and right here where I've got zeros, if you change yours to zeros, both of these places, then it will bring back all results. Then click OK. So now we're through the hard part. You've got SQL Server installed. You should have this TSQL 2012 database installed. All the rest of those files that are in student data files are just queries that have already been typed up. I would prefer you not use them. I would prefer you work your way through the book, because in the process of typing these queries out, you pick up more about what they're doing rather than just copying something and running it. Okay, that should get you to the point to where you can get started in the course. And I'm going to close the video.